What is going on, guys? So we have a very special guest today. It's Kimmy Kins. I know a lot of you have probably seen her in the comment section of my videos. If you are part of the Facebook group, she's very active in there, and she has seriously come a long way since she first joined that Facebook group. Guys, this Facebook group helps a lot of people, so if you haven't joined it, join it. It's in the description of all of my videos. There's a lot of people in there that support each other. But anyways, she has an amazing story that she wants to share with you, her anxiety story, and she also has some methods and ways of reducing your anxiety and basically coping and getting closer to recovery. Again, though, she's very motivational, she's very encouraging, uplifting. She's always doing her part in that group. I'm very proud of her, very proud of the efforts and achievements that she has made. Guys, I have 17,000 subscribers. There's no reason why we cannot get her 100 subscribers today. Her channel will be in the description and in the first pinned comment. So guys, direct your attention to Kimmy. Go ahead and take it away.
Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Before I get started with my anxiety story, I just wanted to thank Trey for allowing me to do this collaboration with him. But I also wanted to say thank you for the friendship that we've created over the last few months, being there for me, guiding me through anxiety, and for creating these videos in a wonderful Facebook group for everyone to be able to go to get help with their anxiety. Anyone that's watching this that hasn't joined the Facebook group of Trey's, it will be linked down in his description. Make sure to go join that, because I can promise you that that group is literally so life-changing. Like, I wouldn't be where I am right now in the recovery process that I'm in if it wasn't for that. So definitely make sure to check out that Facebook group and of course his videos. So today I'm just going to share with you my anxiety story and how I'm in the recovery process now. I'm not quite over it yet, but I'm getting there. How I got there, and how changing my view on anxiety and how accepting it has really helped me in the recovery process. I really hope that this video will help somebody out there that might be going through something similar as me. So like Trey, I suffer from health anxiety, and I got my first panic attack back in November of 2017. Just a normal night. I was sitting in a car going to the movies, waiting for my sister and my friend, and all of a sudden I was looking at my phone. I got this weird sensation in the back of my neck. My head started feeling heavy. I felt like I couldn't lift my head up. And then when I finally lifted my head up, my heart started racing, and like I started sweating, and I wasn't, at the time, I wasn't thinking of anything. Like, I had stressful things going on, but like I wasn't thinking of anything that would send me into a panic. So I was really confused on what was going on, and I didn't even know I was having a panic attack. I thought something really bad was happening to me. So when my sister and my friend got back in the car, I didn't say anything. Like, I was like, do I say something? Is something wrong? I'm still breathing, so I think I'm okay. But I didn't have a good night. I literally sat there the whole night thinking that something was wrong with me. I got on Googled like burning neck, or I don't know, something. Don't Google. Bad idea. This is what got me to where I was. Found out that I wasn't having a panic attack according to Google. I had a neurological disease and I needed to see a doctor. And at the time, I didn't go to the doctor right away. Like, I just lived with it. I was like, whatever. So I wrote down, like, the date that happened. And I was like, well, if it happens again, like, I'll go to the doctor. Well, a month later, fast forward, now work is really stressful. So not just my personal life anymore, work is stressful. I ended up having a panic attack on my lunch break at work, and it was worse than the first one. I felt really dizzy. I'm walking down, my heart is racing, my vision is kind of blurred. I get to what we call the canteen, and there's so many people in there, which now makes everything even worse. And I get in there and I look at my boss and I was like, I need to go outside. Something doesn't feel right. And as I'm walking outside, someone stops me and they're like, hey, are you okay? Like, you look like you're gonna like pass out or something. And so then now I'm really freaking out. my heart gets to racing even more. I thought, well, maybe if I go on a walk, it'll make it better. It made it worse. So I worked at a hospital, or I still work at a hospital, but I didn't feel comfortable driving to like where I could be seen at a hospital. So I went to our emergency room at the hospital that I work at, which is embarrassing because you work with these people. And like, I got my vitals checked, my blood, the whole thing. Everything came back fine. But it scared me so bad that I couldn't believe that I was healthy. Like, there was something wrong. It didn't matter, you know, who told me what and what test results came back. Like, I believed that something was wrong with me. As the months went on, I became so bad that I would come to work, I would start crying for no reason. Like, a loud noise would happen and I would like jump. I was having all these racing thoughts and all these scenarios in my head of things that might happen out of nowhere. And like, I thought like sometimes I wouldn't get out of bed because I thought if I got up too fast or stood up too long, I might faint or collapse. When I got really stressed out, I would get these like pains in my head, which I now know are brain zaps. Thought I had a brain tumor. I could have swore, like, this is gonna sound insane, but I was at my friend's house one day and I was like examining my forehead where I was getting the pain in my head, and I swore there was a bump there. Like, I thought that there was like a lump, and like, I don't know, like, I know this sounds crazy, but these are literally like the thoughts that went through my head. And so, you know, it was getting worse, and I could go on for hours about all the things I went through. But then it got to the point where I was just so scared all the time that I just started drinking and drinking and drinking. Self-medicating. Like, I wasn't like waking up and drinking, but every night I had a drink, and as my symptoms got worse, the drinking got worse. And if you've seen any of Trey's videos, you know that like alcohol and anxiety go hand in hand, but I didn't know that at the time. So I'm going to my doctors and they're like, how much are you drinking a week? Blah, blah, blah. So long story short, they made me feel like an alcoholic. They told me if I kept on the path that I was going to like have liver failure by 35. Like, they scared me into oblivion. So once they told me that, I went home and I did what you're not supposed to do. But this time, and the only time it worked in my favor, I got on YouTube and I YouTubed the symptoms, alcohol withdrawal. And I remember specifically I was doing that because I kept getting like these weird things happening, and I thought that it had something to do with me quitting drinking because apparently like I was an alcoholic and whatever. And that's how I found Trey. So I couldn't be more thankful for that, because I am where I am now because of that. But it was really scary, like, to sit here and think like, okay, I'm 31 and they say by 35 I will have this. And so now like I'm trying to do this, and all in all, it was all in my head. So once I joined the group, Trey's group, I met a lot of people that had brain zaps, that had like these like things that would seem like it was neurological, and it all linked back to anxiety. So there was like a comfort there, knowing that I had all these people that were going through what I was, and I could talk to them about it. But what I realized was that was just the first step. If I wanted to change anything, I had to take these steps and this advice that Trey was giving me, and work towards recovery, because I kept, like, I'd have a symptom and I'd just go right back like to being like anxious all the time. And so finally I started looking at my anxiety, and I started talking to other people, you know, around me about it, and I started looking at it as I didn't want it to control me anymore. It was taking my whole life away, and I couldn't let it control me anymore. I had to take my life back. So what I had to do was face everything that I was afraid of. I had to face going into stores and having a panic attack, but telling myself that it was okay, that I was going to be okay, showing myself that I would be okay, getting in the car and driving 3 hours by myself and having a panic attack. I had panic attacks driving, and each time I did it, it got a little bit easier, because I still do this. I have pep talks with myself, and I'm like, look, see, we're fine, you know, call somebody if you don't feel right, or, you know, somebody will help you if something goes wrong. But we've done this a million times. You know, and we're fine. You know, I go to amusement parks, get into crowds. It's all the same. And it's just like, you have to face the fear to get over the fear, if that makes sense. And you have to work at it every day. You can't just do something for 1 second or, you know, a day and think, okay, well, I'm cured and I should be fine and I'm going to go back to my old way. It doesn't work that way. And I'm living proof because I've done that. And it just doesn't work. So just accept anxiety. You have to accept it. Don't fight it. And stand up to it. Like, stand up to it and take your life back and be like, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. You know, I've always, through this whole thing, I was afraid of dying, but looking back, I was afraid of living. Like, it's the truth. I was afraid to live because I was so afraid of an illness or something that's out of my control, as scary as it is to say sometimes. And in the end, the last thing a piece of advice that I want to give you is be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself, rest when you need to rest, and don't worry about what anyone else thinks of you. If you communicate it to them and they don't understand, there's nothing that you can do. We have a whole community out there. You can always come and talk to us, but take care of yourself. Take that rest, but don't fall into it. Take the rest and then be like, tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to take a walk down the road or take a drive or do something. Don't stay in the trap, but just remember to just take care of yourself and be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. And I am hard on myself. It's horrible. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it's kind of lengthy, but I hope it helps. I have a few anxiety videos on my channel with more to come if you want to check them out. But if not, I hope this video helps you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Kimmy, thank you so much for sharing that. That was an amazing story. Very familiar story, I'm sure, not only with myself, but with many of you out there that are watching. You're like, wow, I went through a lot of the same stuff. It's surprising on how a lot of us have so much in common. And in that Facebook group, you will find that out. You'll get on there and be like, wow, I didn't know 50 other people right here that are commenting dealt with the same sensation that I was dealing with. So that's something that you'll find in that Facebook group. Kimmy, thank you so much for sharing that. Guys, remember to go subscribe to her channel. As you can tell, she has a lot of interesting points. I loved how she touched on self-medication for anxiety. It's something that I dealt with. Do not overindulge in alcohol or drugs or anything unhealthy to cope with your anxiety. It's not going to help. It's only going to make it worse in the long run. So I'm so happy that she shared that. Thank you so much again. Make sure, guys, you go subscribe to her channel. If you're a fan of me, please do it. Thank you so much, Kimmy.